DPS, a crap guide to Final Fantasy XIV DPS. Let's do this.
Everybody likes to do damage, and don't pretend like you don't, because I know you're
I love doing damage.
Playing an RPG with core mechanics such as leveling up, getting stronger, and looking fashionable as it's to do massive number the guys until their numbers are so small they match the PP size of anybody who doesn't commend at the end of a duty. The other members leaving too quickly is no excuse. How do you expect to move quick enough to avoid AoEs if you can't even move quick enough to tell your allies they're doing a great job and that they're glamorous?
Nice shaft,
is that
bro.
uncharacteristically nice of me? Maybe, but it means I get to steal the LB3 from the only melee in the group. Welcome to a crap guide to Final Fantasy.
People do like the big numbers. They do. They think it's they think it's fun.
Today I'm going to be talking about every job. That's right. What, you thought
Every
only the
job.
DPS had the DPS? Boy, I could slap you with my overflowing glamour dresser. Damage is the name of the game in Final Fantasy XIV, and the entirety of the game is designed around everybody dealing it, including the tanks and the healers. If the DPS roles are contributing 60% of the damage, tanks and healers are the ones who fill in the other 40. So if
as long as the healers actually, you know, do some damage and not just heal the entire time, like we just learned from the other crap guide to healers, okay? They better go ahead and do some damage, all right? But this is actually a good little pie chart. I like it.
Tanks and healers are the ones who fill in the other 40. So if you don't contribute, you belong in the garbage chute. So don't get so hung up on the role names. Everybody is a DPS. What I mean specifically is that one, not only is FF14 a cooperative game, which means any time you waste is not only yours, but also anybody else in your party as well. And two, every combat feature in FF14 is designed with dealing damage in mind. Healers and tanks get skills that actively promote doing more DPS.
Me agreeing with JoCat. I'm like, right, yeah. Like I can't. Slap a bitch, also heal your buddy. Slap a bunch of bitches in a line. Heal your buddy and give them regen because they're so impressed at your bitch slapping skills. Slap all nearby bitches, also heal your buddy. Slap all bitches in an area, also heal your buddy. This is good. This is good. Why can't tooltips be like this? Sometimes I'm reading tooltips like 5 times over and I still don't understand what the ability does. I need it to be like this. Slap a bitch and heal your buddy. Why can't it be like that?
Skills actively benefit from doing DPS. And most importantly of all, Enrage. Enrage is what happens when you overstay your welcome in a dungeon or boss arena and the residents have run out of things to talk about and are just really ready for you to leave so they can finally go poop without being worried that you're going to steal all their old DreamWorks DVDs. That is to say, you're either forcefully kicked out or alternatively, they instantly murder you. How do you prevent this from happening? You murder them first, of course, and then you pop in a copy of Shrek 2 so you can watch the castle scene.
Yeah, Shrek 2 is so good.
In the game you get, the more and more frequent enrages start to appear. And they'll have more and more health too, so if somebody decides they just don't feel like they want to cooperate in this team game they decided to play, and now the boss has 1/8 of its health left and is about to destroy the entire universe, Princess Fiona isn't going to be the only one who will need a hero. Hopefully
that's a good ass song.
In your head now that DPSing is essential, not just for the jobs with the title sticker, but also anyone in a fancy robe or edgy trench coat as well. Now that you know that, how does one go about dealing max deeps? The most basic thing is to do your combos. Press a button. See another button light up? Press that one.
That's how I do things.
Successfully completed a combo. And doing so
that's how I DPS, guys.
Damage over time on your target, gaining mana, doing your taxes, or any variety of other additional effects. But mostly, it all achieves the same goal of dealing more damage. Secondly, you want to press these skills that the game labels as abilities and the community calls off global cooldowns, or OGCDs for short. More like OGCDs nuts! I personally call them free damage buttons. They cost you nothing and there's literally no reason
No, he didn't just drop that. Oh my god. I was about to say, wow, this is actually pretty educational, and then he drops that. These nuts joke.
Secondly, you want to press these skills that the game labels as abilities and the community calls off global cooldowns.
Let me write my notes down.
OGCDs for short. More like OGCDs nuts! I personally call them free damage buttons. They cost you nothing and there's literally no reason not to press them while your normal cooldown is rolling. But this one has a long cooldown. What if I need it later? No, it doesn't. Shut up. The cooldowns in this game are so short you might as well press them because by the time you need them again, whoop, they're back up. Not to mention, many jobs require you to press those free damage buttons to unlock even spankier
Honestly, I have that thought every now and then. I'm like, wait, what if I need this later? Like, should I not use it right now? Should I just like, because the cooldown is like so goddamn slow. I'm like, he's saying I should just use it. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna listen to you, JoCat. So use your goddamn free damage buttons.
Goddamn free damage buttons. It's free damage. The next
free damage
is knowing your ABCs. Always be casting. This means mashing away at your keyboard like a tickle monster working double time. More specifically, it means that the best way to make sure you are doing the most damage that you can is to always have your global cooldown going. Even if it means accidentally pressing the wrong skill like the single brain cell that you are. Because if you're always pressing buttons, even the suboptimal one, you are doing more damage than if you weren't. And doing damage is always better than not doing damage.
This is me
yes,
already.
Even Scathe. Here's a live example with my 2 subjects, Jan and Chloe. Chloe. They both deal 1 million damage and suddenly the boss flies out of melee range. Jan sits there waiting patiently for the boss to return before she can start doing 1 million damage again. Meanwhile, Chloe's pressing the deal 1 damage at a range button the entire time they're waiting. I ask you, puny viewer, which person is dealing more damage right now?
Yeah, but it's only 1 damage.
Who's dealing more damage?
This any fight is going to get so close that dealing with—
Who is dealing more damage? Sure, it might not look like much, but it's going to matter.
He
when they
sounds
fight
like
the boss that had
Squidward when he says like that. Like, who? Like, you know how Squidward's always getting mad at SpongeBob and Patrick? He's like, who is dealing more damage? Like, why do you sound like Squidward there? But also, that's me. I'm always like pressing some button and I don't know what I'm pressing sometimes, but at least I'm pressing something and it's dealing damage and that's what matters.
And 2 health and they wipe all because the other DPS decided they don't want to press buttons.
It's such little
Buttons.
DPS, it won't make a difference.
Sure, Jan. Now, one of the best things
Sure,
you can do to
Jan.
improve your damage in Final Fantasy XIV is this. It's really simple. I want you to lean in. It's a super simple thing. Here, come close. I'm gonna say the thing. Are you
God, he's
ready?
gonna
Okay,
yell
here
at
it
me.
comes. Read your tooltips! The little
Oh
block of text
God,
that literally
no. Well, this video, yeah, he's speaking to me directly. He made this video for me personally. I know I need to read my tooltips. Do I? I don't. I just can't.
Oh, I want you to lean in. It's a super simple thing. Here, come close. I'm gonna say the thing. Are you ready? Okay,
I'm gonna
here it
say the
comes.
thing.
Read your tooltips!
Fuck.
The little block of text that literally tells you what your skills do. Honestly, you would be surprised how many people queue into an expert dungeon and never realize they have a skill
Oh,
that
you
can
have
attack
that many
multiple
tooltips on
targets.
Summoner?
Even all the things
No.
I tell you in this
I'm talking about when they randomly put me in as another job, like when I'm playing as Thancred or like whatever, and all of a sudden I'm a new job and I'm like, what is everything? I don't know.
video, the combos, the range attacks, the AoE damage skills, the free damage buttons. The best way to know
It's
what
just a
your job is
lot,
capable of is
guys.
by
It's a
reading
lot.
your
There's
job
too much.
skill
I'm a
tooltips
Dragon Ball
yourself.
fan.
So
I
you
don't
better read your
read.
goddamn tooltips, because if I see another player not knowing about their AoE combo and a mob pull at level 80, I'm gonna grab the nearest etherite and bash you so hard you're gonna be teleported to the final
Oh my
resting place with
God.
every ERP has used undergarments. With all that out of the way, you'd think I'd
I'm a
covered
Dragon Ball
everything you need
fan.
to do to be an ultimate clearing badass, right? Unfortunately, not, Waffle Face, because the final responsibility every single role in Final Fantasy XIV shares is not dying. Oh sure, the healers help, but most of the time your own survival is on you and only you. And that
Honestly,
means
that's
making sure
me.
you do the fight mechanics
Where
and
was
don't
the
take avoidable
heal?
damage like it's got the cheese touch.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you in the middle of your cast? You want to try and hit that purple parse like the big man you are?
That's too damn bad! Each time you take damage that is avoidable, it means the healer has to heal you and they're dealing less damage. And on top of that, you get this cheese puff called a vulnerability stack. For each stack you have, you take more and more damage until you get one shot when the enemy farts in your general direction. All this to say, if you don't avoid enemy damage, you will not only make the healer do less DPS, but you're also likely going to die, which means 0 DPS. And if you still think that's not a big deal and the healers can just res you, each time you die, you get a dunce cap of shame that reduces your DPS even more for about as long as a red light in Philadelphia. So you better stay alive.
I
or else
truly
I'm gonna
did not
raise you
know
so I can
that.
rescue you into an AoE and kill you myself.
Until-
To recap, everybody's DPS matters. Press your free damage buttons. Always be casting. Read your tooltips. Stay alive. But even if you keep all those things in mind, the #1 rule to improve your DPS performance is to practice. Strike.
That's what I need to do. I need to practice. But I didn't know that every time you die, your like damage goes down. Basically, that he's saying, bro. I had no idea. And I'm over here dying like 20 times in this goddamn game. And I'm over here doing nothing.
Dummies are all over the goddamn place, out in the overworld, and even in the yards of some random people's houses in the residential districts. So if you see one, there's no shame in whacking it a few times like you're auditioning to be a dominatrix. I'm sure the neighbors won't mind.
What the f is this
Perfect,
guy?
and even all the foresight in the world will not fully translate into the doing. So go and do that doing so that one day you too can do the do and make everybody else look like
Do-do?
how good your doing skills are. And with how much doing
Doing
you'll be
skill-
doing, maybe someday you
God.
too can clear an ultimate and get a shiny ass weapon of your own to show off to people AFKing at the Limsa Aetherite Plaza. Just know the difference
so
between
good.
an amateur and a master is that a master has failed way more times. By the way, get ready for a party wipe. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Congratulations, you're now better at the game than you were 5 seconds ago. Oh! And now you know how to DPS, you're welcome. Oh, finally my Q just popped.
Wait, that was a really good touch. That was a good touch at the end. Oh my god. Wow.
No, one of the other
A party member has withdrawn from the duty.
party members withdrew. Ah, fuck!
Wait, that's really good. That was amazing. That, at least I could understand that one a little bit better after being a summoner since for months. Like, that is really the only job that I've touched on. That is so funny. You have to wait forever in the queue to just get into the goddamn battle. It's so funny. That was good.